faces from every nation. I wanna find a place that's for conversation, where they discuss all the latest movies, or when something big happens in the news. See, that's us, what are we talking about? So what are we talking about today? Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Carcast, presented by What Are We Talking About? So right now, well, first of all, normally I record this in video and then do like just post a audio only version on Soundcloud and iTunes and whatnot. But right now, I'm only recording the audio because I forgot my camera at home. So there will be no video, even if you're watching this on YouTube. So it's still the Carcast, even if you can't tell. But anyways, so today's Carcast, there's a few things I want to talk about. First of all, it's trailer time. Trailer time. Again, I just did that right now. Probably won't be the theme song. We'll see. Hey, if anybody that's listening to this writes music and you'd like to write a theme song for Trailer Time, do it up. Let's see that shit. I'd love to hear it. But anyways, so first up on Trailer Time is, so we got the first official trailer for the new Martin Scorsese movie, Silence. Now, what the basic story of this movie is, so Andrew Garfield and Adam, is that his name? Kylo Ren. I can't remember what the actor's name is. So it's Spider-Man and Kylo Ren have to go to basically Japan to find Qui-Gon Jinn, where those guys are monks, and so is Qui-Gon. He's like their mentor or whatever. And so like, I don't know much about this movie yet, but the small amounts that I've seen, like when you hear about what this two Jesuit priests going to Japan to try and find their mentor, it doesn't sound like it would be a super incredible movie. Like it sounds like a little bit of a throwaway. But then you hear Martin Scorsese's directing it and who the actors are in it. Also, Cillian Murphy, or whatever his name is, Steppenwolf, also is in this trailer. He's like that main priest or whatever. But anyways, so then you hear Martin Scorsese's doing this movie, and it's that intrigue. That's more intriguing because Martin Scorsese's a mastercraft filmmaker. But it's still like, okay, Martin Scorsese makes good movies, but the premise is still a little bit, it sounds kind of boring. And then you see this trailer and it changes your mind completely. This movie looks intense and I can't wait to see it. People are talking about possibly two different movies that Andrew Garfield has been in this year that he's deserving of Best Actor Oscar for, which I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge yet. I still really want to see that. It's still in theaters. I might catch it before it leaves. Otherwise, I'll definitely be, renting it as soon as that option is available. But yeah, then now Silence. So who knows? Maybe Andrew Garfield gets nominated twice. But yeah, like I said, this trailer looks awesome, and it gets me really intrigued to see the movie. So who knows? It could end up being bad. It could end up being awesome. We don't know yet. We'll have to just wait and see. That movie is out like in some small, like it's out in a small degree this December, but then wide release isn't until next January, I believe, somewhere around there. So I won't be able to see it until January, but it will be eligible for 2016 Oscars, or I guess 2017 Oscars, however they calculate, whatever it's called. Anyways, next trailer on the list, which if you've never seen the original, so the next trailer is Goon, Last of the Enforcers. And if you've never seen the original Goon, definitely get out there and check it out. It's It's a bit of a smaller comedy that lots of people haven't seen. I've watched it because I love hockey. I'm a Canadian. I grew up playing hockey. I like hockey quite a bit. Happy Gilmore is also another one of my favorite movies, and this movie is very similar. Like Sean William Scott character in Goon has a lot of similarities with Happy Gilmore, with Adam Sandler's character in Happy Gilmore, and like the attitude is different. Where Sean William Scott's character, this is actually one of the greatest departures I've seen of him, where he's not playing Stifler. He's playing a more subdued, kind of gentle soul in this film, even though he is an enforcer and a goon. And it's got Jay Baruchel. I think it was written by Jay Baruchel, the original. I don't know if this next one is directed by Jay Baruchel, which, good old Canadian boy, I'd like to see him do. I'd like to see it. I think this is his directorial debut, so that's interesting. So like, there's a lot of stuff going forward. I love the original, and this trailer looks like it's pretty awesome. Like it might not be. The problem with a lot of comedy sequels is that they're just doing the same thing over again, and basically they just rerun all the best jokes from the first movie. But this Goon sequel looks like they're actually doing something different with it, which that gets me pretty excited. Because like I said, I really liked the first one. It's a surprise comedy where it sounds like, again, just a throwaway thing, like, Sean William Scott being a hockey player, but it's actually incredibly good, and there's actually quite a bit of heart to the film. And so that gives me hopes for the second one. And like I said, Jay Baruchel's directorial debut, I'm excited to see what he can do. Then we have a huge movie. Well, not a huge movie, but huge in terms of the Oscar potential, I would say. Denzel, and I think it's not Viola Davis. I can't remember. The actor, maybe it is Viola Davis. The actress from How to Get Away with Murder. She was in Suicide Squad. I can't remember the actress's name, but it's her and Denzel play a couple in this new movie, Fences, which I think that both of them were in the stage play for it or something. I don't really remember what that whole thing, but the two trailers that we've seen from this movie are just incredibly emotional trailers, and it makes it seem like this is going to be an emotional journey to watch this movie. The first trailer, I think, was a little bit better and a little more impactful, but maybe if I had never seen the first trailer, the second trailer would have been just as impactful. It's hard to say. But I definitely think that from the two trailers we've gotten of this movie, it looks like Denzel is getting some Oscar. Like, he could easily get nominated for an Oscar based off of this film. It looks like he's given an incredible performance. Viola Davis as well. I'm not sure who the kid is that plays their son, but he looks like he's pretty good as well. So I'm intrigued, and I want to see this movie when it comes out, or rent it when it becomes available. That seems like with some of these more Oscar-y movies, I don't get to see them in theaters as much, because for me, I got to drive 40 minutes to go to the theater. And so, like, it's a bit more of an event, that because I have to take a trip to get to the theater. So it's like, I like to go see, I would love to go see Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Silence, these kind of movies in theaters, but the type of movies I usually end up seeing are the ones that you kind of have to see in theaters, like a Doctor Strange or a Fantastic Beasts, because those movies I'm gonna see in theaters. Like, and then it seems like if something falls to the wayside, it ends up being one of these smaller movies, and it kind of sucks. I wish that I either lived closer to the theater or something where it was easier for me to just go on a whim. Oh, I feel like going and seeing a movie right now. I'll go watch Arrival or whatever it may be. It doesn't happen as much as I'd like. Maybe I'll be able to do it more in 2017. We'll see. But like I said, Fences, this movie looks like it's definitely going to be scoring some Oscar buzz. Then there was a new teaser for a trailer that I just saw. I've heard a little bit about this film. It's called The Belko Experiment. And basically, from what I understand, what it is that there's this company that basically, I think it's almost like a fight to the death kind of a thing inside the company all closes all these shutters and shit, and then now it's like a fight to the death inside kind of a thing. I believe, I'm not 100% certain. But the interesting thing is that this movie is being produced by James Gunn, who is an incredible filmmaker. I still haven't gotten to see Slither yet. I have the movie, but I haven't gotten around to watching it. But if you've ever seen, well, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, but he also did the film Super, which I believe came out before Kick-Ass. And it's kind of a little bit that same premise. Kick-Ass is clearly a comic book movie where there's a bit more ridiculousness involved. And like at one point he has a jetpack with fucking mounted machine guns on it. So yes, it's still clearly a comic book. But this movie Super, it's incredibly realistic, and again, it's an incredibly heartfelt and emotional film where you feel like you're going on a journey with Rainn Wilson's character. And so I really like James Gunn, and I can't wait to see if he's producing this film. That it gives me high hopes for the project. So far, there's just been an 18-second teaser for this Belko experiment, but the new trailer comes out either tomorrow or the next day, I think it said. So I can't wait for that. Look forward for that. Maybe, who knows? If the trailer intrigues me enough, maybe I'll do a trailer review. We'll see. I've only done like one or two of those, and they were for, I'm pretty sure, Marvel and Star Wars, so it might not happen, but who knows, it might. Usually I only do trailer reviews and reactions for, well, not reactions, but reviews and speculation videos if it's like a Star Wars or an Avengers or something where you can actually make some speculation that could, like, there's not much point in me doing a speculation video about the Belko experiment because I have no prior knowledge of what's going on. I mean, I'll still probably review it. Who knows? I'm just rambling at this point, but maybe I'll do a review, maybe I won't. We'll see. If I don't, the review will be on next week's podcast during trailer time. And there's one more trailer that is probably the most important trailer of, I mean, maybe not. Silence and Goon were pretty fucking... All of these trailers are pretty good. But there's a new series coming to Netflix, I believe this calendar... It might be before the end of the calendar year. I'm not sure. It might not be until next January, February kind of thing. But it's called The White The White Rabbit Project. And it's the three builders from the Mythbusters, Tori, Grant, and Carrie, and it seems like they're doing a Mythbuster-esque series. So that's incredibly awesome. I loved Mythbusters. Like, it pains me to this day that Mythbusters is no longer airing new episodes, that Mythbusters is now done. But the positive thing about that is now I can buy the entire box set of Mythbusters, and that'll be good. I won't have to fret about, oh, next year they're going to be releasing another season. Then it's fine. Finally, you can get the complete box set, basically. But it sucks because they're not making more Mythbusters episodes. But it might be okay if this White Rabbit project is what I'm hoping. And from what I've seen so far, just from this trailer and the few things I've heard about it, it seems like it is what I'm hoping, where it's a science-based experiment show. And I can't wait. I really can't wait. I love Grant, Tori, and Carrie. They're awesome. They were an incredible part of the Mythbusters team. I mean, you can't replace Adam and Jamie. They are the Mythbusters, but Grant, Tori, and Carrie are right up there with them, where they've been there for so long that they are also, they're the Mythbusters B team, and Mythbusters B team is better than most A teams, just so you know. But yeah, so the White Rabbit Project coming soon to Netflix. I cannot wait, especially that it's coming to Netflix, because that means I'm just gonna be able to fucking binge the series. I love binging TV as opposed to week by week watching it. It's gotten to the point where shows that that come out week to week, I will wait to watch episodes of that show. Rebels is a perfect example. I just recently, over the weekend, watched the episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8, and it's really good. It basically, it's better to, the thing is with especially a show like that, 22-minute episodes kill me. I can't just only watch 22 minutes a week. That's not enough. So I have been just waiting, now I waited, I think, 4 or 5 weeks so that I could have enough backlogs of the show that I want to watch to make it worth my while to actually watch the show. And so that's what I just did with Rebels. I'm going to do a little bit of a Rebels so far talk right after trailer time here. But yeah, so I love the Netflix binge watching way of television, and I'm glad to see that the White Rabbit project is going to be that same thing. I mean, I assume that's what it's going to be. It could be coming out week by week. Netflix, I think, does that with some shows, but I hope that it all just gets put on at once. But anyways, that was trailer time. I would love to know that was my thoughts on these trailers. Hit me up either in the comments of this podcast or video, however you're ingesting it, or tweet at me at Winter Trooper or at What We Talking. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on any of these trailers that I talked about, or whatever, anything. If you have thoughts on something, hit me up. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna just talk a little bit about Rebels. I don't want to spoil too much in case you haven't seen it, because I know some people don't watch it. They don't. I know my friend Logan, I don't even know if he's finished season 2. So for those kind of people, I don't want to spoil anything because it's a good show. I like Rebels. My only issue is that they've been setting up such awesome stuff that these last 4 episodes I watched were a little underwhelming because it didn't have any of the main overarching, Thrawn was in at least one of the episodes, and there was some stuff that involved a bigger story, but it was a little underwhelming for me because I want to see more. Maul, last thing I know basically is that not Darth Maul anymore, just Maul, is on his way to basically, well, maybe not on his way, but he knows that Obi-Wan is still alive. And that's something that I'm incredibly intrigued with, whether it be coming in an Obi-Wan standalone movie or in Rebels or wherever. I want to see a final showdown between Obi-Wan and Maul. But yeah, so overall, the show is it's very consistent with its quality. So even if I say it was disappointing, it's not like how Walking Dead has been, where I haven't been watching Walking Dead, but from what I've heard, that's a good thing because this season apparently is just not good. That's not the case with Rebels. Rebels is, even if it's a little bit underwhelming of an episode, it's still good TV and it's still enjoyable. And because the episodes are only 22 minutes, you didn't just waste an hour of your day over fucking a shitty section of TV. So even if one 22-minute episode of Rebels isn't as good, it doesn't harm the overall season because you have another 22 minutes coming next week or whatever. In my case, you can watch it right away. So I can't wait to see where Rebels goes. I love these characters and I love getting more Star Wars, but the most important thing that Rebels has shown me is that I want a live action Star Wars TV show that does have hour-long episodes, that is an actual series like The Walking Dead or like HBO's Game of Thrones, or even Netflix's House of Cards and the Marvel series, something like that, a little bit more adult and a little bit more gritty. I would love to see something in the Star Wars world because that's really the only negative I have about Rebels is that the reasons why I get disappointed is because I forget that it's a children's show and then they do things that would be in a children's show, right? So I would love to have an adult-based TV series in the Star Wars universe. And when I say adult, I don't mean fucking Jar Jar Binks banging Natalie Portman. I mean something with a bit more of a mature theme. Whether it be a Knights of the Old Republic, Game of Thrones style series, or the Underground series that they almost did. George Lucas almost did. They were pretty far with it, I believe. So if it was something like that, I would love that. And with Disney buying Netflix gives me hope that is something that will happen, is a Netflix series in the Star Wars universe. Because that's the thing. You might think, based on what you hear, oh, if they are making a live action series in the Star Wars universe, that's going to be too much Star Wars. But I don't think we get too much Marvel because of the Daredevil series, because it explores something different than the Marvel movies. The Marvel movies are a very different tone from the series, so it would still be Star Wars, but it would be different. Just like how Rebels doesn't wreck the movies. And Star Wars is a lot bigger of a universe than the Marvel universe. And in fact, they can have two series both running in the Star Wars universe that don't affect each other because they're so far apart in time. Whereas with Marvel, all of these properties are taking place chronologically, essentially, when they're released. The year and month the movie is released basically is when the movie takes place. Some, it's a little bit different, but essentially that's what's going on. And so Star Wars can use similar things that Disney has done with Marvel, because Disney owns both properties, right? So Disney can do a similar yet different model because the franchise itself is so different in its essence, where it's similar, where that it's this big expansive universe and you have all these characters that you can follow and whatnot, but it's different because the way they've set up the MCU and the Marvel shows is there is no prequels, there is no, everything takes place when it's happening. So, but with Star Wars, we've already seen the first Star Wars movie was a sequel that takes place 30 years after Episode 6. The next Star Wars movie that comes out, which comes out in like 20 days, is a prequel to Episode 4. It takes place between Episodes 3 and 4. So we've already seen Star Wars jumping around a little bit, and I think that Disney buying Netflix is showing us that we are getting a live action Netflix Star Wars series. I can't wait, and I hope it's the Old Republic. I don't know. I do, but I don't, because I also really want a fucking Old Republic game, Knights of the Old Republic game. I don't know. We'll see, but I cannot wait to see what the future of Star Wars holds, because like I said, Rebels is so good, and the only negative I have is that it's a children's show. So if they have a Star Wars show, hopefully also created by Dave Filoni. He's incredibly good. He's incredibly talented, and he knows Star Wars. And so something like that would be awesome, and it would be my new Vice, where I would probably watch it every single week, like a Game of Thrones. Or it depends on how it's released, of course. If they do the Marvel method, where they just have 13 episodes all released at once, that's fine as well. I already binge all the Marvel Netflix series. I would also binge a Star Wars Netflix series. It's all good. It's all good, and I cannot wait to see the future of Star Wars. I'm so excited for Rogue One coming out. I just bought my tickets today. I bought one set of tickets. I will be buying some more tickets tonight, once I just double check with everybody that I know is going to be coming. Because my first set of tickets is for the Thursday, and I'll buy more tickets for either the Friday or Saturday or something. I don't know yet what. I haven't decided, but I can't wait for Star Wars. I cannot wait for more awesomeness. But anyways, that's pretty much it for me for this episode of the Carcast. Hey, thank you for joining me on this lovely, whenever you're listening. That's all for me for this episode. Thanks for joining me. Hey, if you have any thoughts on anything we talked about, hit me up. Like I said, you could comment, you could tweet at me at @WinterTrooper, at @WhatWeTalkin'. You could email us at whatwetalkingabouttoday@gmail.com. So there's plenty of options for you there. Hey, if you're listening to this on SoundCloud, hit a like and subscribe, and then you'll get more. I'm gonna be more consistent with my uploading, and I'm going to try and I already upload every Monday on SoundCloud, and the podcast on Wednesdays on YouTube. If you subscribe, thank you. If you like this, thank you. Comments, all that fun stuff. Thank you. And like I said, join the conversation. Hit me up on Twitter, or comment on this video, or podcast, Carcast, however you want to do it. I'd love to hear from you guys. One of the reasons why I do this show is I love to have conversations with people. And so if you are sitting here listening to this right now, throw me a comment, even if it's unrelated to this podcast. Just let's have a conversation. I love meeting new people, and I love having conversations and hearing different points of view on stuff. So if you have any thoughts, hit me up. But anyways, that's going to be it for me for this episode. Thank you so much for listening and making the Carcast part of your week. I love you guys. Thanks. And until next time, never stop using the Force. Peace.
Glad to see you here on YouTube. Now you wonder what should I do. Staring at my faces from every nation. I wanna find a place that's for conversation. Where do they discuss all the latest movies? Or when something big happens in the news? See, that's us. What are we talking about?